Marcus Chen had saved for 3 years to buy the cabin. Nestled deep in the Montana wilderness, 40 miles from the nearest town, it promised the solitude he desperately craved after his messy divorce and corporate burnout. The realtor had been oddly eager to close the deal, practically throwing the keys at him while mumbling something about previous owner's eccentricities. The cabin sat on 50 acres of pristine forest, complete with a generator, solar panels, and a well, perfect for a man who wanted to disappear from the world for a while. Marcus spent his first week chopping firewood, reading old paperbacks, and pretending he didn't miss civilization. It was on the 8th night that he heard it, a low rhythmic thumping from beneath the floorboards. At first he dismissed it as settling wood or maybe a trapped raccoon. But the sound was too deliberate, too purposeful. Thump, 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 like something striking against metal. Marcus grabbed his flashlight and searched the cabin's perimeter. Behind a false wall in the pantry, he discovered a heavy steel door he'd somehow missed during his initial inspection. The lock was electronic, still glowing with a soft blue light despite the cabin's rustic appearance. The thumping grew louder. Against every horror movie instinct screaming in his head, Marcus found the previous owner's journal hidden in a kitchen drawer. The entries were increasingly frantic. Day 847. The subject remains hostile. No progress in communication despite the translator matrix. Day 932. It nearly broke through the containment field today. The electromagnetic barriers are weakening. Day 1204. I can't do this anymore. The government contract isn't worth it. Maybe the new owner will be smarter than me. The final entry was dated just 2 weeks ago. God forgive me for what I'm leaving behind. Marcus stared at the journal, his hands trembling. Whatever was down there had been imprisoned for over 3 years. The electronic lock beeped softly, its display showing a critical power warning. The generator outside coughed and sputtered. When the power died an hour later, Marcus heard the unmistakable sound of electromagnetic barriers failing. The steel door burst open with a metallic shriek. What emerged from the darkness below defied every expectation Marcus had built, from the journal's clinical descriptions. The creature stood nearly 8 feet tall, its muscular frame covered in midnight blue scales that caught the moonlight streaming through the windows. 6 arms ended in clawed hands, and its elongated skull housed 4 eyes that burned like golden stars. Intricate scars covered its torso. Some looked decorative, others spoke of battles that should have been fatal. But what struck Marcus most wasn't the alien's fierce appearance. It was the intelligence in those golden eyes and something else. Exhaustion, desperation, and beneath it all, a warrior's pride that 3 years of captivity couldn't break. The creature spoke in a voice like distant thunder, words Marcus somehow understood despite their alien origin. The previous owner's translator matrix was apparently still functional. Human, you freed me. Marcus swallowed hard, fighting the urge to run. The power failed. I didn't know you were down there until... You could have restored it. Could have trapped me again. The alien's 4 eyes studied him intently. Why didn't you? The question caught Marcus off guard. Why hadn't he immediately tried to fix the generator when he realized what was happening? Instead, he'd simply stood there listening to the barriers fail, making no attempt to stop it. Because, Marcus said slowly, 3 years is long enough for anyone to be caged. The alien was silent for a long moment. When it spoke again, its voice carried a note Marcus hadn't expected, surprise. I am Zarathek, warsinger of the Crimson Nebula Fleet. I came to your world seeking honorable combat with your warriors, but your kind captured me through trickery. They studied me like a specimen. Golden eyes blazed with remembered fury. For 204 rotations, I planned my revenge upon your species. Marcus nodded, trying to process the magnitude of what he'd just released into the world. And now? Zarathek moved closer, each step deliberate and predatory. Marcus forced himself not to back away. The alien stopped just within arm's reach, towering over him. You show honor, Marcus Chen. Your name was written on the dwelling's documents. I learned your human script during my captivity. Zarathek's scarred face showed something that might have been respect. A warrior knows when a debt must be paid. I don't need silence. Zarathek raised one clawed hand. You freed me when you could have chosen safety. This is not something my people forget. I, who have conquered 12 systems and brought glory to my clan name, am now bound by honor to serve. Marcus blinked. Serve? You sought solitude in this place. You shall have it. Any who would disturb your peace will face the war singer's wrath. Zarathek's golden eyes gleamed. And perhaps in time you might teach me why a human would show mercy to a creature that could destroy him with a thought. As dawn broke over the Montana wilderness, Marcus Chen sat on his cabin's porch with a mug of coffee, watching an 8-foot alien warrior practice combat forms in his backyard. Zarathek moved like liquid lightning, 6 arms weaving patterns that spoke of battles among the stars. The solitude Marcus had sought was gone, replaced by something far stranger. But as he watched the fierce alien pause to examine a butterfly that had landed on one massive claw, studying it with the same intensity once reserved for battle tactics, Marcus realized he'd found something better than isolation. He'd found the most interesting roommate in the galaxy. When Zarathek noticed him watching, the alien approached the porch. Your world's small creatures are unexpected. This one creates beauty with no purpose but its own existence. Marcus smiled, remembering why he'd loved science fiction as a kid. Maybe you could teach me about the creatures on your worlds. We've got time. Zarathek's scarred face showed what might have been the beginning of a smile. Yes, Marcus Chen, we have time. The warrior's debt was just beginning.